Hey guys, so this week we're going to be taking a look at the Boundary Supply Errant Backpack. And I've been particularly excited about this one considering how awesome their original Prima backpack was. So a lot of hype going into this one. I'd seen a few different videos on it. It seemed to have all the features that I would expect from an awesome EDC bag. And I have to say, so far it hasn't disappointed one bit. The bag has a really sleek design, tons of hidden features that I've been discovering as I've been using it, and just a really solid build quality, just like the original backpacks. So just really impressed as I've been using this throughout my day-to-day for the past couple of weeks. One of the best EDC bags that we've used so far, and I'm just really excited to share this one with you guys. So let's just go ahead and dive in and take a closer look at the Boundary Supply Errant Backpack. So starting out with the outside of the bag, I really love the sleek look that Boundary has gone with for the Errant pack. It's a very interesting mixture, in my opinion, of outdoorsy adventure bag and sleek tech pack. All the zippers have good water guards to help keep water out. On the site, the company says the bag is dust proof and waterproof. The mixture of Hypalon and Codra nylon that's used here on the outside definitely feels like it's gonna hold up well to rougher environments and if you're using this for more extreme type activities. So really great look overall. The bag looks really sleek and slim, but it's actually a pretty large capacity. On the site, the bag is listed as having a 24-liter capacity, which is much bigger than what I would have guessed from how the bag looks while I'm wearing it and what I was able to kind of pack in there. So it looks very slim and close to your back when you're wearing it, even when it's filled out. Currently, what I have in here is all the same items that I use in the majority of my daily bag videos, and I've packed it out pretty good. So as I'm wearing it, you can see that even though it's full, it's still very slim. It doesn't stick out, making it really great for public transport or for wearing, with a nicer outfit or to take into the office. So it really does transition very well from indoors to outdoors and still maintains a very sleek look. And so continuing on with the outside of the bag, the first thing you'll see is that it does have a water bottle compartment on one of the sides. And this is pretty deep. You can see that it can easily hold the water bottle that I have in all my other daily bag videos, so that fits in there comfortably. The bag doesn't zip up or anything like that. It just has this elastic here that brings it close to the bag if the pocket's not in use, but allows it to stretch out a good amount if you have something thicker that you want to put in. So it would have been good for holding something like a tripod, if not my water bottle. Here it has a very simple hook and loop system that you can get into quickly. It has a nice metal buckle here. So just a lot of quality all throughout the bag. This is nice and adjustable. So if you have something taller that you want to hook onto the bag like your tripod, this is going to be a good place to do so. And if not, it can just help keep things more in place when the bag is a little emptier. Continuing on with the straps and the back panel, this is an area where the bag excelled a lot. The straps are very, very well padded, nice and thick as you can see here. And on the straps themselves, they have a nice mesh-like material, which is going to do a good job of absorbing moisture. And I also really like the shape of the straps. They're nice and wide to help with carrying a bit of a heavier load if you have a lot of camera gear or just a lot of daily items that you want to carry with you. And then I like the kind of slightly contoured shape that the straps have. It really fits my body type well. And then I love that the bag also included an adjustable and removable sternum strap. And the system that Boundary has chosen to go with here is very cool. I love their use of magnets all throughout the bag, so we'll talk about that a few different times. And so the first one here is this clip that clips in very easily. With the magnets, it's very easy to release as well. You just push up. So love that they use these type of buckles throughout the bag. And if you don't want to have the additional sternum strap, it's very easy to remove. But I also like that even though this system has worried me a little bit in the past, it seems very tight fitting, so it doesn't feel like it's going to fall out easily if you do decide to keep the sternum strap on. One thing to note about the straps is that when you first get the bag, they are a little bit firmer and harder, so it does take a little bit to break in, but once they do, they start to feel really great. And it just adds to the premium feel that the bag has with the materials that Boundary has chosen to use here. Moving on to the back panel, the bag has been super comfortable to wear on my back. As you can see here, the padding is very elevated. It has some nice ridges that allow for a lot of airflow. There's a big air channel here down the middle, so Boundary doing a really great job of making sure that even if you're wearing this with a lot of weight, the bag does a good job of keeping air flowing and preventing moisture from building up on your back. They used a really nice EVA foam material here on the back paneling. It offers a nice amount of padding and comfort so that when you're wearing this in any environment, it's gonna hold up well and you're not gonna feel tired wearing the bag. Moving on to the bottom here, you can see a removable waist strap, which is included with the bag. So as I've mentioned in a few videos, I'm not a huge fan of this style of waist strap. I don't really feel like it adds much in the way of support and removing weight off my shoulders when I'm wearing a heavier bag. So typically I will just leave these off, but I just wanted to showcase what the straps actually look like. Some additional features here around the back panel area are this side handle here that you can use to carry the bag like a briefcase or to just pick it up off the ground real quickly. This is a little bit on the thin side, but the material used here is pretty nice. It definitely feels like this is not not going to tear or anything like that. And it is a great spot to hang my Hero Clip carabiner, which has been one of my new favorite accessories that I like to carry with me to be able to hang my bag instead of putting it on the ground. On the back, there's also a secret compartment that you can use to hide something more sensitive like a passport or maybe some extra cash. The bag has a really nice looking zipper here, which is a common theme that we'll see as we go through the rest of the pockets in the bag. One of the really cool things is these locking zippers that they have, which keep the zipper pulled down so that it doesn't flop around or dig into your back or anything like that. And the zipper has a nice sealing here, so pulling that down, you can open that up to this small pocket. And so currently what I have in here is just my Field Notes notebook, so that fits in there very easily. It's actually surprising how much space is offered in this compartment. As you can see, I can fit pretty much my whole hand in here. It's a very slim compartment, so I wouldn't put anything bulky as it won't fit, and anything thicker would actually push up against your back, which would lead to a little bit of discomfort. And on the other side of the back panel, the bag has a Velcro closing compartment here. It's just a small area to store this little strap that comes out that you can use in conjunction with this loop on the other side. And what I've chosen to use this for is to put this on my suitcase handle. If I'm traveling and I want to take a carry-on bag and I don't want to wear this while I'm going through the airport, I can just loop this across and put this over my suitcase so that I can just rest it there and it won't fall off. This is also meant, from what I saw on Boundary's videos, to help keep the straps tucked away if you have to check the bag, or if you want to just hide the straps so that you can carry this by the side handle into a business meeting or something. This will help keep everything from flopping around and just keep a little bit of a neater look. While we're on the bottom of the bag, you can see that there's a separate compartment for shoes or for wet clothing that keep it separate from the main area of the bag. So really nice, well-sealed zipper here to keep that compartment separated and protected. There's a nice Hypalon material here on the bottom that feels very durable and water resistant. So if you place your bag down, you feel like your stuff is going to be very well protected. And so opening this zipper up gives you access to that separate compartment. In here, I currently just have my Toms, which are the shoes that I typically like to travel with. I don't carry these so much on my day-to-day. I wanted to show more of the size, so this is one area of the bag that I was a little disappointed to see that this compartment doesn't fit larger shoes that well. So I typically use Nike Free Runs when I'm going about my day-to-day or going to the gym. And so when I tried to squeeze those in there, if I bended the shoes a little bit, they were able to fit in there, but it seemed like it might lead to damage to the shoe if I were to carry it like that for many hours throughout the day. So anything above an 11 size shoe I think is going to be a pretty tight fit, and even that is going to be right on the edge. So I wish that the compartment had a little bit more space. And one thing to note is that it doesn't go up very much into the main compartment, so it's a pretty shallow area. Here you can see kind of the volume that it has, and we'll take a closer look once we go into the main area. So I can't put the shoes vertically to make them fit. So for me, this compartment would primarily be for something like wet gym clothes after working out, or maybe even my bathing suit if I were to take this to the beach. At the top, the bag has a very nice thick handle that's made out of a nice seatbelt-like material for picking the bag up or carrying it briefly by the handle. It's going to be very comfortable to hold. And then a cool thing about this bag is that it's actually both a top loader and it lays open flat so that you can more easily see everything that's in the main compartment. So I'm going to start off first by going through this top area and the flap system that they have here. So in order to open this flap, the bag has a very interesting buckle system. So before I open it up, I'll let you peek under there. And in order to open it, you can't just pull up, you have to slide down and then go up. And so that unlocks the bag, and it's a pretty easy to use system. This could maybe be one-handed opening if the bag is not too full. Currently, with the amount of stuff that I have in here, I have to really pull down in order to release the buckle, so it's not quite as smooth as I would want. And so here you can see the two sides of the system. So they have these little nubs that you can slide into this area here, and there are magnets that kind of help guide it into place. And one improvement that the company made as they've been shipping out newer units of the bag is with the zippers. As we saw earlier, they lay down flat. Before, this zipper used to get in the way of the buckle, so it's nice to see that they've addressed that issue. And then here, before opening the main area, they have a nice quick access compartment with another well-sealed zipper, and it has a zipper garage here. So really just adding a lot of protection to this area of the bag, and you can open that up. Currently what I have in here is my Apple Magic Mouse, and then I also have a lightning cable to charge my phone, and that all fits in there very easily. There's some leftover space, so the compartment goes pretty deep. As you can see, I can fit my whole hand in here. And then a nice touch with the compartment is that it has this nylon material here that helps prevent against scratching. So this is going to be a really good compartment if you want to store something delicate like your phone or your sunglasses without a case. It's nice and soft. Once you've released the flap, you also have access to the main compartment of the bag. And so if you open it from the top, you can kind of look down and see all the items that are in the bag. Depending on which area of the main compartment you're using, some items will be easier to reach from the top opening as opposed to laying it down flat. So here you can see I can easily reach in and grab my Beats Solo Wireless 2 if I wanted to, or my portable standing desk would be easier to pull out just from the top. So since we're already here, I'll go through the items that I have in the main area. So as I had just shown, I have my Beats Solo Wireless 2, and then I have my Levitate portable standing desk, which fits in there comfortably. Then I also have my GoRuck wire dop. Then at the bottom, I have my full-size Moleskine notebook. And then I also have a folder to hold my receipts and papers. And so that's the majority of the items that I have in the main area. Very easy to reach down and grab just from the top opening. And then now that the compartment's a little bit emptier, we can get a closer look at some of these additional attachment points that the bag has. So it has a few snaps and nubs here where you can attach the modular accessories that Boundary has made specifically for this bag. And that's one area that I felt was both a positive and a negative for this bag, is that it didn't include all the accessories that something like the Prima System did. So when you bought the Boundary Supply Prima System, you got to take full advantage of the bag. It came with the Verge case, it came with the little removable laptop sleeve. Because this bag doesn't include all those things, it's a lower price point, and a lot of people maybe didn't use those accessories, so it was just nice to not have to deal with them. But a lot of the accessories that the company sells for this bag would be very useful, especially if you are into photography. They have a camera case that attaches to this area so that you can reach down and grab your camera quickly. And so if you're somebody who shoots often, you can leave the zipper open and just put the flap down to protect the main area. But then you can put the bag down, reach down, grab your camera quickly with the attached points here. So I didn't buy any of the modular accessories that are made for the Errant Backpack just because I wanted to save a little bit of money, and I didn't think I would personally use them that much. With all that being said, it's nice to see that on its own, even without the accessories, the Errant is a very capable daily bag. It just would have been nice for maybe a few of the accessories to have been included, or for some packages to be offered with the bag that might help you save a little bit of money. And so before continuing on with some of the pockets, one thing I do want to call out is that the bag has a lot of loops on the outside. So it has a few here that go across the bottom that you can pair with straps that Boundary actually sells separately. So if you want to add a little bit more carrying capacity or be able to hook on some of those bulkier items, you can buy some of those straps. Currently what I have here are some straps from Wandered that I used with the Wandered Provoke that we looked at in the past. And these are really great straps. I love how easily they clip in and out. I actually like these better than the ones that Boundary sells because they use more of a hook system like this, which feels a little less secure. These I can actually close completely. So I really like pairing these straps with the little loops that they have here. And so they have the loop here on the front, and then they have one here on the back. And when you attach both, what you end up with is some straps on the bottom that you can use to attach something like a skateboard or an umbrella or a tripod. And then they have very similar loops here on the top section. So they have two loops up near the top flap. And so just attaching one of the loops again here just to showcase kind of how it works, one there. And so there's a corresponding loop here under the flap. So if you release the flap but you keep the zipper closed, you can actually store something like a yoga mat or a jacket here on top. So just adding a lot of versatility with different straps. The ones that Boundary sells, I'm sure are gonna be of a good quality, but I really like the security added by these straps that are sold from Wandered. So I'll make sure to link to the review that we did for the Provoke, where I first used these straps if you want to take a closer look, and to where you can purchase these on Wandered's site. And so on the outside of the bag, there's another quick access compartment that has a large vertical opening on the side. It's very easy to access if you're holding the bag by the side handle. You can reach over and open this up. There's actually a lot of space in this compartment. I was really impressed with how much I was able to fit in it. And so on the inside, there's some internal organization, some slip pockets. Currently what I have in here is my sunglasses with their case. This is actually the easiest compartment to access on the bag, so this is what I grab the most. So it's nice to be able to just reach in and grab that. And there's also just a lot of space here. You can see how large this slip pocket is where I had the sunglasses. And then on the inside, there's some more slip pockets behind the larger one. And then on the biggest one here on the back, which I probably could have used to hold something a little bit bigger, I just have my Gerber dime multi-tool. I can fit about 4 fingers in there, and it goes the length of my fingers. So a lot of space there on that slip pocket. And then there's just a few smaller slots for something like a pen or a stylus, which is what I have here. And then if you don't want to use the slip pockets, there's more space here towards the bottom if you want to put just something a little bit bigger that doesn't quite fit into those slip compartments. So just a really versatile and spacious quick access compartment. I love how much I was able to fit in here. One additional item here is that there's a magnetic attachment point, and this is meant to pair up with a separately sold keychain accessory, which I was really disappointed that that wasn't actually included with the bag. A lot of the videos that I'd seen showed the keychain with the bag, but it doesn't come with it. So that's a $20 accessory that you'll have to purchase separately, which was a little bit sad to see, as that was something that I really loved on the Prima system, was that it had that removable keychain included with the bag. And it's such a versatile feature to be able to attach and remove a keychain as opposed to the lanyards that are sometimes included on these bags. So that may be an accessory that I purchase in the future, but again, it would have been just really nice to see that included. The last area we're going to take a look at is the laptop area and the flat opening main compartment. So right here at the top, you can see again beefy YKK zippers with some really good water resistance. So those come all the way down, allowing the bag to open up flat. On one of the zippers, there is a little clip here that helps prevent the bag from opening flat if you don't want it to. This is an interesting addition. I'm not a huge fan of this clip, as it can sometimes get in the way, or it sometimes latches on accidentally, as it is a magnetic clip. So again, I like the use of magnets here. This is a nice touch to add a little bit of extra security as well. But if you're somebody who's trying to get into the bag and open it flat very often, this might get a little bit annoying. And so opening the main area flat, you get a better view of the different organization that's offered in the main compartment and on the laptop area. So starting off with the laptop area, there are two elastic mesh compartments that are great for holding some of your tech accessories. So in one of them, I just have my BluePop portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. And as you can see, the compartments offer a good amount of volume, and they stretch out nicely if you have a bulkier item like a laptop charger that you want to put in here. And then in the other one, I just have my UTech wireless charger for my phone. And these are equally sized compartments. I also like that they're elevated off the bottom of the ground to help add some protection if you do put something more delicate in here. Next up, I want to talk about the tablet and laptop compartments. And so these are implemented very, very well. I was very impressed with how much protection they actually offer for your devices. And so another magnetic clip here at the top, which unlatches easily to help keep everything in its place. And so first up, I'll talk about the tablet compartment, and there's an extra magnet here that keeps the tablet compartment closed if you are using the laptop compartment. So you can pull that up. You can see there's a very strong magnet. I like how well the magnets are used throughout the bag. And so pulling that up, you can get a good view into the tablet area, which is very spacious. It's kind of swallowing up my little iPad mini too. Pulling that up, you can see how much leftover space there is, so you can definitely fit a full-size iPad in there. Not sure if you could fit the iPad Pro, the 12-inch one, but definitely the 10-inch tablets should fit in there very easily. I was happy to see that the tablet compartment has a nice amount of padding and protection. It's also elevated off the bottom of the bag, so if you put the bag down hard, it's going to be very well protected. So just a really great job of making the tablet compartment nice and full featured and protective, as opposed to some of the bags that just kind of add a sleeve and call it a tablet compartment. And then moving on to the laptop compartment, I love the materials that Boundary has used here. As you can see, the front and the back of the compartment are lined with that same nylon wool that we saw in the quick access compartment on the front, so it definitely feels like it's going to keep your device protected from scratching. The compartment offers a good amount of padding on both sides. This is slightly flexible, but it still feels like your device is going to be very well protected. Currently what I have in here is my 13-inch MacBook Pro, but there's plenty of leftover space. If you have a 15-inch laptop, that's going to fit in there very comfortably. And so pulling that out, you can get a better view of the compartment. So I love that this also isn't quite as slim as the one on the Prima system, which was a very tight fit even for a slim 13-inch laptop. So this is going to be a little bit better if you have a thicker device. On the sides, you can see just how much the compartment comes out. So really well done here. The laptop compartment, like the tablet compartment, is elevated off the bottom of the ground, so that helps add that extra layer of protection. Continuing on with the main compartment, which we kind of took a look at a little bit earlier through the top loading area, here you get the other view. There's two mesh elastic pockets here on the inside that you could use if you have another water bottle or if you have something like a tripod. I didn't use anything for these, as the space was already pretty well used with all the other items that I had in here, but it is nice to have that extra bit of versatility in how you can organize everything. And these are pretty elastic, so if you have something a little bit bulkier, if you wanted to put a pair of flip-flops in here or something, they should be able to fit okay. And then on the back of the compartment, you'll notice that there's some Velcro lining, which is meant to pair with one of the modular cases that Boundary sells specifically made for this pack, so that would fit in here comfortably and latch onto the Velcro so that it would stay in place. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to test out any of those accessories, but even without them, I love that I can just kind of organize everything as I want. If I had my shoes in there, or if you have smaller shoes that fit completely, here you can see the shoe compartment kind of poking up, so it would take away some of the volume here from the main area. So for me, I typically just leave that pushed down towards the bottom, which allows me to use the majority of the main area for the items that you saw earlier. In the main area is an elevated compartment that's another kind of quick access compartment. If you open this up from the top, you'd still be able to reach down and get to this pocket. And this is just a very simple but versatile compartment. It offers a good amount of space for some of those bulkier tech accessories that you might carry with you. And so I really like the materials used here. As you can see, it's kind of an elastic mesh. So currently what I have in here is my able carry stash pouch, which has a lot of the smaller accessories that I like to carry with me, and that fits in there perfectly. So I don't really try to put anything else in there, but if I wanted to put a laptop charger in here or some additional cables or a GoPro or something a little bit bulkier like my headphones, then it's going to fit in there comfortably. The mesh is going to mold around the items. The one thing I would advise is not to put anything too bulky, as it would be pressing up against the laptop, so you always want to prevent that so that you don't do any damage to the screen. And so even though this feels like a small, sleek bag, it really packs a punch in the amount of organizational options that it offers. I've enjoyed using it for work and on my day-to-day, and I'm excited to take it into something a little bit more exciting like the deserts featured in the promo videos for the Errant Backpack. So just a really great and versatile bag overall, and an excellent follow-up to the Prima System, which was already an awesome bag. And so to wrap up, I've been super impressed with the Boundary Supply Errant Backpack as I've been using it throughout my day-to-day for the past couple of weeks. The bag has a really sleek look, tons of incredible features, and most importantly, it feels super well made. You can pre-order the bag on Boundary's site for about $120 right now. And I ordered mine back in October, and I was able to get it around December. So hopefully it won't take too long to get to you. I'm not sure how long the promotional $120 price point is gonna last. It seems like the price point that this will probably land at some point is around $150, which is still a reasonable price. But I think that at the $120 price point, this bag is a really good deal. And so as I mentioned many times throughout the video, the bag compares really well to some of the best EDC bags that we've had on the channel. So as I was using this, the first bag that came to mind was obviously the Prima System, which is the original bag that Boundary came out with, and that was one of the best bags that we've looked at on the channel. Super versatile, tons of space and organizational options, and on top of that, it really kind of set the standard for modular components in a bag. And so the Prima System is going to be a really great option if you want everything in one package. So it comes with the removable camera case and the removable tablet sleeve and the removable keychain. And as we mentioned during the video, this bag doesn't come with any of the removable accessories. It's kind of the very simple intro into the modular component world that Boundary is trying to build. So definitely recommend checking out the video that we did for that in the past and seeing how the two compare against each other. This bag also reminded me a lot of the Able Carry Daily Active that we looked at a little while back. That's been one of my favorite EDC bags that we've tested out here on the channel. Had a really great look, awesome build quality, and just the right amount of organization. That bag definitely gives this a run for its money as far as style and features. The Daily Active that we featured on the channel has a price point of around $145. So if you're able to get this at the $120 price point, you're gonna save a little bit of money, but essentially the bags are in a very similar price range and they offer very similar quality and just some slight differences in features. So definitely recommend you check out the video that we did for that as well. Some other bags that this reminded me of would be the Air Fit Pack 2 and the Air Day Pack. Those are some really sleek, comfortable, well-made bags that I've been a big fan of in the past. And they're gonna be a little bit more minimalistic in their organizational options and in their styling. So if you want something just a little bit more simple that still offers fantastic quality, the Fit Pack 2 and the Day Pack are gonna be great options to take a look at. And then the last bag I'll mention here is the Nomadic Travel Pack. It's a really well-made bag that comes in at a reasonable price point. That bag is gonna be between $190 to $220 depending on whatever specials they happen to be running. So it's gonna be a little bit more expensive than this bag, and that one is meant to be both a travel pack and a daily bag. So if you want something a little bit bigger that is gonna be able to expand and compress, or is just gonna work a little bit better for traveling and not just for daily use, I definitely recommend checking that out. But with all that being said, the Errant Backpack holds up very well against all the bags that I mentioned and pretty much any EDC bag that we featured on the channel. It's super well made, I love the look, and I'm just very excited to see what Boundary Supply comes out with next. So definitely recommend checking this out. If you guys have any questions on any of the features that I talked about throughout the video, please let me know in the comments. And if you guys found this video useful, please go ahead and give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much.